Hi, I'm Lenny, and welcome back to Bullet & China Shop. So, this is our part 3 of our Bloodborne Let's Play. Still feeling not 100% with my nose and everything, but doing pretty well. Now, last time we finished up in Cathedral Ward, and last time we finished up in Central Yharnam, I should say, and we've dropped into Cathedral Ward. So, from here we're going to be making a run towards Old Yharnam, but before we do that, I just want to go back to the Hunter's Dream for a minute. And we're going to be transporting ourselves back to Yosefka's clinic, because the old beggars told us to send people to the church, and Yosefka's going to ask us to send people to her clinic. Now, I've also turned down the recording for the ambient sound of Bloodborne, or just the music in general for this particular recording. I did listen to the last one just before I put it up, and I didn't like how the sound was overwhelming at certain parts, so I've turned down the recording a little bit for it. I'm not sure how that's going to affect things overall. Hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to make out what I'm saying in the middle of combat, but, you know, let's play it by ear and see where it goes, really. Now, if we run back up here, we have a quick chat to Yosefka again.
Oh, well, splendid. Let me ask, you're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yosefka's clinic, upon my Hippocratic oath. If they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure this sickness. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here. I'll even offer a well.
Okay, now you might remember Yosefka from, I do believe it's the first Let's Play video that we did. And she said before she couldn't let anyone in, but now she's asking for people. I want you guys to keep that in mind. If anyone's currently going, is she an enemy or something? The answer is yes. The answer is very bluntly yes. However, we're not going to do anything about her, even though we could, for now. Because we need to wait for another couple of things to happen before that really becomes viable thing to do. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're heading towards Old Yharnam. Now, it is technically an optional area. If you want to bypass Old Yharnam, you need to buy the Hunter Chief emblem, I do believe it's called, from the Bath Messengers, which is available once you've killed the Cleric Beast. And it costs you 10,000 blood echoes. If you buy that, you can bypass Old Yharnam entirely. I would not recommend doing that. And I would not recommend doing that for the very, very simple reason that if you do that, then you're going to miss out on a few things that Old Yharnam has to offer in terms of EXP and such. Now, I'm pretty sure that Elaine, the NPC I talked about earlier, pops up here when the next part of our quest is up, so it looks like we're not going to be doing that part of the quest now. Now, these guys are one of the new enemies we're going to be facing here. Now, you might notice that my heavy attack wasn't stunning at all. And my quick attack, well, whoa, shit, doing a little bit of damage, didn't really kill him either. So that didn't work. Now, we're not really going to be able to find it out with this guy, I don't think, but I'd wager that R2 is going to stun him pretty well. Getting a nice bit of EXP option. If I transform that, we get to here. Now, anything useful in the corner? Nothing really, just a couple of dudes. There's always that learning curve when you jump back in. It's just that it's a little bit more difficult to keep your head straight. Now, I was hoping there'd be a kidnapper around here actually, because I want to make a little bit of a point, but looks like that's not the case. So anyway, we're going to head up the stairs for now. Now, it sounds like there's either a dog or... Good, now if we head up here, I can just make a point about the Chief Hunter. So we've got these dudes. If they remind you of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, because they do scream at points, then congratulations, you're more well educated than most people. Alright, so the L2 doesn't do a job. No. That's a knockback, so that's kind of a guarantee for me, but... How about normal? Nope, missed. It looks like that'd be a stun shot, just the normal heavy attack. looks like that doesn't stun them either. Huh, that's a little surprising. Alright, so it looks like these guys can't be stunned. Good thing that their fucking attacks are easy to see them. I swear I can stun those guys. No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we've got a wooden shield. There's not much else here, really. Ow. Shut up. Anyway, this gate here, as you can see, the gate is closed by a device. If you come to this gate with a cheap hunter's emblem, it will actually open for you. So you can completely bypass Old Yharnam, which is what you'd need to realistically get around that. Now, as you guys can see, we've got a lot of shit around here. There's nothing really to talk about in that area. If I go down the other exit, which is to the... if you're running out, it's to the left if memory serves. Yep, it's that left turn right there. Then we'll go into a different area a little bit. So we've got it's a little bit different. We've got some different things lying around now. We don't have access to all the... we don't have access to anywhere near all of the Cathedral Ward yet. But we will soon enough, so you guys will be seeing a bit more Cathedral Ward after we get to Old Yharnam, because that's when we're going to start having access to a bit more of the place, and it'll be a little bit more interesting to explore. Until then, we're pretty restricted as to what we can do. Now, let me heal up to full health for a second, because I'm reasonably certain the freaky shit's going to happen if I grab this. Pretty sure that's the place I got mine from. Okay, you guys can see that glowing thing there. You do not want to get grabbed by that if you can avoid it. It's just worth a bit of damage at this point. It can give you a little bit of a hint of what's really going on in Yharnam, all things considered, but you're really just better off, avoiding that if you can, to be honest with you. I mean, look, if you think that you're onto something and you want a little bit of an extra hint, then yeah, let it hit you. It'll give you a bit more of a hint, but if you're not that interested, or you wouldn't mind giving yourself a bit more time, then there's nothing against that. So that down there, if memory serves, is where we need to go to get to Old Yharnam. Give me a minute, because I'll come up here, and I'll hang a hard left, I believe was the stairs. There they are. Sorry, I've got a bit of sun on my, I've got a fair bit of sun on my fucking monitor at the moment. When I said giant earlier, and I went, oh, he's not that big, this is what I meant by a big fucking giant. Because that dude is a big fuck-off giant. Thankfully, most large enemies have relatively big wind-ups for their attacks, so a good chance of working out sort of what they're going to be attacking with. Church giants can actually spin around and get a pretty sweet back attack. You really do need to be careful about that. But as long as you're keeping a good eye on them, they're not a terrible fight. They're really not the worst thing in the world to keep ignoring on this right now. I have no idea what the fuck I would want that closed. I'm pretty sure if we go up the stairs, I'm pretty sure we find another gate that's just locked on us. And that one, much like the previous one, if you have the Hunter Chief emblem, you can get that thing opened. But for the time being, we're just going to head down a little bit. We'll take a little bit more of a look around, and then we'll head into Old Yharnam. And we'll get the ball rolling and really see what we got going on. Now, I didn't come down here for a while my last playthrough. I'm pretty sure I didn't come down here till it was a good... So I was very much well past the level. I don't really remember whether or not there was much worth having here. I suspect there probably is, just because this is... oh shit. And I'm dead. And I'm fucking dead. Oh well. We'll run back there, because now I want my fucking souls back. Well, I should say my blood echoes back. But, yeah, honestly, I don't remember what's down there all that much. I remember there being... I think there were a couple of things I didn't mind picking up, but overall, I don't think there was really that much there. Cathedral Ward as a whole is interesting, but it doesn't really get interesting until you hit the later parts of it, which does take away a little bit, because it means that the earlier parts of Cathedral Ward tend to be not boring, but certainly not as interesting as the later parts of it. Now we know that going down there is going to lead us to Old Yharnam, so we'll focus on getting up as far as we can. We'll just focus on getting back up here. Now, I'm uncertain about whether I want to fight this guy again, but I'm pretty sure I'll hit him from behind if I don't, so... That's it, that's it. Never stop moving with these guys, that much I can do. We get some bloodstone shards from that. Like I said, you can get to a +3 weapon before you hit Father Gascoigne, but for the most part, you're probably gonna wanna, you know, you're probably not really gonna get that. Oh shit, he's got my shit. AI tracking. I thought that dude was gonna follow me. Oh, that's really not good. Anyway, that's the dude who's got my stuff, so I really do want to kill him. It doesn't so much matter if I live after that. Well, it does, because I'd rather not have to do this again, but... That's all my stuff back, which is great. So there goes most of that stuff. Now those guys look like they drop a fair few blood vials per pop, so that's not bad. You can always get a nice view on places like here, like walking off to the edge there. You know, you get to take a nice look at Yharnam itself. I'd say this is where the cleric beast probably was, based on that being the Great Bridge, I'd wager. So that's probably the cleric beast there, which means we've travelled a fair way around. What would that be, the cleric beast? That might actually be the cleric beast over there. Let's see if we can see it. No, it doesn't look like it. No, wait, is that a... Give me a second here, because we just got a monocular. Let's see if we can actually take a look over there and sail him into CCC to see what he could CCC. So let's see what we can see. Honestly, I don't think anything's there. That's... that is set up just about right. So, alright, look, I'm honestly not sure which it is, but... I'm honestly not sure which it is now. I thought it would be this one. But I honestly can't tell, because that's got the same area, I think. Ah, no, now I get it. That's the place we run up to get to Gascoigne, which means... that a little bit further, either a little bit further over there. Oh shit, fuck. Thought I was about to fall off for a second then, but if that's where we went to fight Gascoigne, now that I've got that, either that is the place we were for the cleric beast. Let's get a little bit closer, see if we can't find it. Or it's back that way a bit. Now, I'm pretty certain that it's going to be over there, now that I've got a good idea on where we fought Gascoigne. Now, it looks like there's going to be another church giant over there. Oh, you know, oh, he's got like a ball and chain. That's not going to go well for us, let's do that. Whoa! That is fucking damaging. I'd forgotten about people who use those. If I had any sense, I'd probably switch them over to my there he goes. Now, that's grab that bloodstone shot if we can get out there, which we probably can't, all things considered. But if we can get to the front of that somehow, nope, we can't. All right. But yeah, considering there's a drop there, I suspect that is where the cleric beast was. I don't really have a lot of proof to back that up. It's just a sneaking suspicion that I got. Now, we run down here. Alright. Nothing but messages here, so there's probably nothing hidden behind these things, so we'll just run on through. Now, yeah, this is the thing. Now, if this is the door I'm thinking of... if this is the door I'm thinking of, there's a video I watched a while back for Bloodborne that went, oh, you know, there's a definite link between the cleric beast and this area, and I'm pretty sure it was this door. They threw gold, like lucky coins and stuff behind this because they glow, and then went over the other side and they found out that they glowed through that door. So it's definitely a setup point, but no one's been able to work out how to unlock it. So I think the main thing people have been thinking it is basically it was supposed to be a shortcut, but they took it out for whatever reason. Makes sense to a degree, I guess. Like there's plenty of shortcuts in Cathedral Ward as it is, but I think it was gonna be, in my personal opinion, I'd wager it was a shortcut for people who beat the cleric beast and wanted to move into Cathedral Ward. So it was like another way to get here. It was another way to get past Gascoigne, I guess. But they just decided they didn't really need it. Now, if you run back this way, since we've seen basically all we're going to be able to see up here until we either buy that Hunter's Chief Emblem, which we could do pretty easily at this point, or head to Old Yharnam. Let's get that done. Let's head straight to Old Yharnam. So we want to drop down here. Now we're going to go a bit lower. Just keep on running down. Just keep on running down. And we're going to go to this part here. Now, if it's your first time through, I want you to try and fight these guys one at a time. You get somebody's attention, you fight them by themselves if you can. If not, try to fight them with as few people as possible. Now that was bad movement on my part, mostly because of my stamina management was just absolute shite there. But if you can fight them one-on-one, you got a much better chance of getting out of this alive, because that's a much, the odds for you become much better the more that you can focus any fight you're in one-on-one combat. The bigger the group, the bigger problems you're going to have there. Not to say it's impossible to overwhelm a group. Groups aren't actually all that hard to overwhelm, as long as you've either got the gear for it, and are just ridiculously well geared, especially in terms of weapons, or you've got the items to pull it off. A good lot of Molotov cocktails will take care of tightly grouped enemies, as well as anything else can really realistically be expected to. Now, as for the path to Old Yharnam, you guys can see this coffin here. This is hiding the entrance. Now, if memory serves, there's at least one dude hiding back here somewhere who's going to try and gut me. There he is. I don't know if there's any others, but I know at least one of them was there. Now, as for actually getting into Old Yharnam, we need to head up top for that. And there's a staircase on the, if you're looking directly at the building, so not here, we turn around and look straight at the building, it's on the left. Now, something else to keep in mind, because this saved my life, there used to be a note here telling us there were 2 dogs up ahead in addition to the guy with the gun. My advice to you is get the guy with the gun's attention, he'll get the dog's attention. Ow, I really should have zigzagged that. And come back. Now that you're back here, you can fight these guys on pretty well easy. In some cases, it's better to not have a lock on. This isn't really one of them, I just need to get a bit of space. Ow. That was just really poorly. That was being poorly dealing with those dogs, honestly. Fuck it. Come here. A bullet into a dog will make it flop over and give you a nice chance to get up close. Now, realistically, I'm handling those dogs very poorly. I should be dodging back when they attack and letting them waste their first 2. Because once they've done their first bite or their first 2 bites, the dogs basically don't have anything else to offer. That's it. That's their attack map. Now that we've gotten through there, though, let's pick up those quicksilver bullets. Go through this door here. And we're more or less sitting on top of Old Yharnam right now. Now, we could run out here and keep going. In fact, I do believe we shall for just a moment, because we can meet another decent NPC out here. His name's Alfred. And Alfred's pretty cool. He'll give you a bit of advice about what's going on around Yharnam. And he'll help you piece the whole story together if that's what you're interested in. It does require, I think his quest chain later on asks you to kill off
I knew it.
some of the
That's
vile bloods,
precisely how I
but
started
you know,
out.
that's how you can get stuff done.
Oh, beg pardon. Protege of Master Ligarius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ. Why not cooperate? Oh, take this. Beast hunting is a sacred practice.
Now, the other reason we wanted to talk to Alfred there was that he can actually give us a bit of help for the blood-starved beast, which is the boss of Old Yharnam. We're still going to take Jura ourselves. We'll talk about Jura a bit later, but we're still going to have to take on the we can take on the blood-starved beast with Alfred. Now, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the blood-starved beast, mostly because it was literally the hardest boss in the game for me. I think I died to it something like 12, 13 times before I managed to off it finally. That's not exactly a great track record, especially considering I've seen most people consider it a lot easier than that. I'm not sure if it's just the way it moves, but something about it just really doesn't let me work well with the Blood-Starved Beast. Now, this looks like it's kind of a trap, so always check your corners, always check anything. I know one of these rooms has a werewolf in them that we're going to have to keep our eyes out for. I also still haven't blood gemstoned my burial blade yet. Oh, on that note of blood gemstoning as well, I mentioned in the first video that arcane scaling for weapons, just let me jump into the weapon screen for a second here, only affects you if you've placed in an elemental blood gem. I've been informed recently, or less informed, more read up on it, that I'm actually wrong in regards to the Holy Moonlight Sword. Apparently that will actually add arcane scaling, a percentage of the arcane scaling to the weapon itself, even if you're not infusing it with an elemental gem. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, it should be on the, there it is. So we're gonna have to fight that bad boy. Let's do this. Alright. Something to keep in mind is your longer weapons can bounce off things like that, so it can sometimes be your better option to keep it shorter, more easily controlled weapons than the larger, more unwieldy cousins. Let's keep heading down, just keep heading down. Let's go straight down this ladder here. I'm gonna keep heading down. Is there anything at the top of these stairs? Yes. We can get some antidote. Antidote is going to be kind of a big deal in Old Yharnam because a lot of the enemies can poison you. Not all of them will actually do it, but a lot of enemies can inflict poison, so it's always nice to have some on you. Now, we've got our little thing here for Old Yharnam. Bang. Bada bing, bada boom, it's all ours. Now then. The next part is straight through here. Now before we actually open it up, we'll just read the notice on there. This town is long abandoned. Hunters not wanted here. So it is giving you a warning that this is not somewhere that other people really want you. Now, the only person who really doesn't want you there is Jura, but we'll talk about Jura in a minute. We're just going to flip back to the Hunter's Range for a quick moment. We'll go a quick level up since we've got the blood echoes for it, and we'll put some blood gems into the... We'll stick some blood gems into the scythe. Now, level up, as you guys know, is pretty simple. We'll talk to the doll.
What is it?
Channel the blood echoes.
Well, let me...
And we go pop. That gives me 30. Now, how much did I actually go up by? I only go up by 1. Anyway. We're going to talk.
Over time, countless hunters have the graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long.
So that gives, like I said, the doll will give you some advice that'll let you know a few things. So we know that a lot of hunters have come before us. And if we go look at all the different graves, that means that there have been a lot before us, and there'll likely be quite a few after us.
Over time,
She's not going to give us any more
very
information.
well.
Now, you also might notice that we have a new headstone lit up, I think. No, not yet. Never mind, I actually thought the Old Yharnam one counted as underground, but apparently not. So Old Yharnam will still be here then. That's Awaken above ground, that's Awaken, I think it's underground, then you've got Hidden and Nightmare. I thought Old Yharnam would count as underground. Hey, German's back!
The moon is close. If the beasts loom large and threaten to as every hunter before a holy chalice where hunters partake in communion.
Alright, so that's basically advising
Most
us.
and the few were lost, but if the one of the whole, yet the town it was burned and abandoned, the perfect place.
So, yeah, it's basically giving us a heads up that we can get a chalice in Old Yharnam. Now, if you're looking to level up and get some advantage over a lot of options, chalice dungeons aren't a bad place to go for a bit of leveling. Now, I've heard that New Game Plus doesn't actually affect the chalice dungeons, so if I went in there, I reckon I'd probably steamroll most of the stuff, just based on level differences. But, you know, they're probably going to be weaker, at least initially. So, if you're looking just to grab some levels, not exactly a bad place. Now, we're going to do a bit of blood gem fortification here. Yeah, I had a feeling we don't have anything in this. Now, we've got a few options. Let's just take a look at what they're all going to do. So we've got physical attack up by 11 point. Weapon durability down 31.5. Yeah, no way in hell. Bludgeon scaling. Weapon stamina costs 3.9%. Weapon durability. That one looks good. Nourishing. Attack up 15%. So that's just a general increase to attack. Those aren't bad. Fizz up near death and attack versus open foes isn't bad, but so far I think we're just going to go for the 15% increase. Yeah, we're just going to run that 15% increase, I think. That one. Blunt attack up 15 point. No, that's not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, there we are. Attack up by 15%. We can lock that in. We can pop over to here. Now, we have the option of putting another one like that in. For example, you know, going attack up by 0.7, 1.4. You know, we're just gonna look. We're gonna look for mostly, I think, add bolt plus 42. That could actually be quite useful, to be honest. But I think rather than doing that, we're gonna stick with more direct attacks, and we'll just use the paper for. We'll just use papers for everything else. So physical attack up plus 11.6. Attack down. That's not great. There's 166. That's physical attack up 9.9. Weapon durability is the problem there. Near death. That's a nice one though. Physical attack up plus 12.6. Add physical attack 0.72. 7.2. Pop that one in there. And the last one, we got 183. We'll see how far we can knock that up. We got 195. 198. That was 205 up there. That's 212. 225. That's not bad. Those ones aren't bad for 225s. Hello. Thrust attack up. 10 points up. It's 211. That pops up 249. Yeah, but that was a little bit more balanced. So currently that's the front runner. It's 225 to both. Alright, we're going to add that last one. Give us up to 225 for both of them, I think. We'll just pop that in. Now that we've added all of those in, we've got a little bit of, extra damage running on everything now. It's going to be nice. We'll repair the weapon too. We'll give the burial blade a tune-up. We'll give our Holy Moonlight Sword a tune-up. We might as well do our guns too. We'll jump over to gun. Alright, Hunter's Pistol's still in. Oh, it's Fortify. Sorry, repair. No, don't need to repair that one. Sweet. So look, we've got all this ready to run ball now. We're basically good to go. You've got a brief idea on how the blood gems work. I'm sure there's a more efficient way than doing it the way I just did, but I haven't exactly learned it yet, so I'm just not going to bother too much now. Old Yharnam is a little bit easier to navigate than Central. I'll give it that. But it has its own set of problems. The big one's known as Jura? I think it's Jura. The big one's known as Jura. Now, Jura is kind of a cunt. And I don't say that with affection. I mean he's a legitimate cunt. But you'll find out about that when he proves it to us. We'll push through here. We'll push on through. Break on through the other side. Break on through. Now, we're in Old Yharnam. Now, Old Yharnam was...
Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back at once. Old Yharnam, they are of no harm to those about. Turn back, for the hunter will face the hunt.
Now, that was Jura. Now, look, Jura's basically not so. There are a few ways to make him friendly, but we're not really going to worry about those today. Mostly because I feel like that's way too much work. But these are the beasts of Old Yharnam. They'll get a lot more common as the night goes on. You find more people turning into beasts, but for now this is really the first place you're going to get. Now remember, this is an optional area. There are ways to get around it, but I do thoroughly recommend getting involved. Now, in case you guys aren't aware, the pillars of smoke rising are basically just visual traps to get you to getting close. Usually letting these do ambush you. There's not always one of these guys behind them, but it happens often enough that it's a pretty safe bet. Sometimes you'll find them crouching down in shadow like that. You got that dude there, also in the corner. That wasn't too bad. We get that little bit of EXP. Now, the dudes in cloth here, these guys can poison you, so from a personal perspective, I prefer fighting them with as much range as I can get. The burial blade in that respect is excellent for it. When I first came through here, I was using the hunter's axe, which also gave me some excellent range. That's definitely not a bad choice either. But if you've got the Saw Hunter badge from the pig that we slaughtered in Central Yharnam, or at least from the same area as the pig, then if you haven't got something along the lines of a long-range weapon, I'd advise like a long-range weapon such as the Hunter's Axe or the Threaded Cane, and you're relying on the Saw Cleaver, it's probably not a bad investment to pick one up. Because it will give you a good chance to sort of get your stuff done. Now, if memory serves, give me a second, I'll grab out a monocular. We'll get at least a little bit of a, increase to our sight here. There we are. Jura is up there. You might be able to see the giant contraption. He's the tiny little speck behind it. That's a Gatling gun, by the way. Oh, shit. I gotta find a faster way to get that, you know, take down my monocular. I guess I'll just have to put it in the quick bar. But that's a Gatling gun. We really don't want to get shot by that. Now, most people would think of running straight forward. That is a terrible idea. The short reason as to why it's terrible is it basically gives Jura a clean shot at you. Now, where that one in the robe just came from, there's actually a hidden path over there. You can sort of see it in the break. But that'll let you keep a bit of your distance. It will keep some cover between you and Jura. And it'll just give you a good old chance to get in there without getting killed. When he gets to this part of his speech, that's where he's going to start shooting. So drop your ass away from him. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to drop down here or not. But once he gets to that part of his speech, he's going to start shooting you. Now, this dude here, again, can poison you. I'd recommend keeping a lot of distance. I've found the L2 technique with the Psych and a lot of other weapons tends to keep him in a pretty permanent stun lock, which is an excellent way to deal with the problem. Now, if you weren't aware, that was Jura saying that is why you must die or must be slain. I forget the exact terminology he uses. Anyway, if I walk out, oh shit! Fuck me! I think there were two of them out there too. I'm not even sure if I can. I'm sure there's another one. Not yet. Anyway, he's gonna start shooting at me with that machine gun when I get out there. So I'm gonna be aiming to get over to the next part of this as quickly as possible. Yeah, most guns I wouldn't give the time of day, but that thing is fucking dangerous. That, and there's a cannon that the FBC hunters will carry a little later on. Those two guns I give the time of day. They are legitimately some of the most dangerous shit I've come across. Come on, then. Huh. Well, he's dead. Now, despite the fact that this looks clear, it's really not. Now, about halfway up to the door, or just before the door, there's a boarded up wooden frame. There's someone behind that who's going to bust out, and as soon as he busts out, there's going to be 2 or 3 of the smaller ones we've just been fighting drop behind us. So, we've got to be ready for things like that. Ow. Dropping into a corner is usually not my favourite game, but I kind of thought he was following me, so I was going to take my chance. That's poison, by the way. It won't really poison you until it builds all the way up. No reason to get sloppy, though. Now, we are going to fight Juro while we're here, and it's going to be a pretty fucking tough fight, I'm not going to lie. So, as you can see, we've got a straight line through there. There are plenty of people behind that smoke. If you want my opinion, you curve off to the right, and you hook down towards the tower Jura's standing on, which is almost directly above us right now. He doesn't have a completely clear line of sight in us, but he can still shoot us from a lot of angles, so you've got to be careful. Anyway, let's get going. If you can get in close, down here, he can't hit you anymore. You're in the clear. Now, that little gate there is a shortcut, and we will be making use of it. We're going to take care of our pursuer soon. Ow. Pop that back. Now then, we'll go up the ladder. Hopefully we don't die, because the first time I fought Jura, he murdered my ass in probably about 10 seconds flat. He is an exceptionally powerful mini-boss. The second time I got lucky, he actually dodged off of the, rooftop and fell to his death. So that was really useful. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to get that lucky this time, but we're going to fight him. If you do manage... Sorry, I had something for lunch. Doesn't seem to be agreeing with me. If you do manage to kill Jura, you don't have to worry about the machine gun going after you anymore. So I do recommend trying to get it. Also, he'll give you the powder kegger badge, which will also give you some of the better... well, not some of the better, but it'll give you a few alternate weapons you can make use of. Ow. Ow. Now, there is another way to do this, if memory serves. I might be able to get him to chase after me if I go. No. I've heard sometimes he'll... to a degree we get a little bit lucky that his firearm doesn't hurt as much as Gascoigne's does. Of course. I'm sacrificing speed for a bit of range this time. That is not a decision that seems to be working out particularly well for me right now. I'm going to switch back. It doesn't seem like that decision was working out in my favour all that much. And he fell off. I'll admit, I kind of feel a bit cheated. I'm not gonna lie here. Anyway, so that's Jura done with. Unfortunately, you actually can't use the fucking minigun, or else I'd be laying waste to some of those beasts down there for some free XP. But yeah, I'm actually a little bit disappointed he fell off. I felt that was a good fight for a while there. Anyway, that's probably his stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to pick that up because it's, yeah, sitting so high. I guess I'm gonna have to reload the area to get it, but Jura's stuff will give you like the powder kegger badge, which will let you use the Gatling gun. It'll give you a few different things like the I think it's called the rifle spear, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a gun mixed with a spear, and it lets you fire without having to transform the weapon. It's not bad. Now up here there's an NPC hunter somewhere. Ah, there he is. Now there's a few ways you can deal with this jackass. If you go out to here, ow. He actually doesn't move too far. Like, once he's done that, he'll start retreating again. Usually. I'll drop it all the time. Now, the good thing about that NPC hunter is once he's dead, he's not coming back. Now, honestly, that really wasn't the smartest way to fight him, because, well, it's outright not. But I felt like I was in a good position after that first combo when he was trying to back off. It was certainly not the best way of doing it. Usually you want to try and duel your opponent a bit, you know, throw out a couple of shots, take a couple of shots, get that kind of thing done. Now, we can fall down here and we can actually get some things. I'm trying to wonder whether or not it's really worth it. Ah, fuck it, you only live once. Ah, fuck it. So we're here, we drop down again. That'll kind of hurt a bit. Now we're down here. Now, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So there is some stuff down here. I think it's the Charred Hunter set, which is resistant to fire. Now there are actually a few enemies in this room. You can see one over here. But there's also a couple others. My advice is to keep on your feet. Keep moving. There'll be some coming down here as well. Like, they're all over the shop. Gascoigne's remark of beast being all over the shop is 110% accurate in this place. Now, as you can see, they're not the hardest enemies in the game to kill, but they are quite powerful, though. Beasts tend to do a lot more physical damage than most humans. Except other hunters. As you no doubt saw from Jura, the other hunters can really deal out the hits. Alright, here comes another one. This is probably about the end, I'd wager. I'd wager there probably aren't that many more of them after this guy. This guy might even be the end all by himself, to be honest. Let's pick up the Tempering Bloodstone. Now, we'll take a bit of a look around. We'll grab everything we can. We don't want to We don't want to really risk ourselves too much down here. But from what I remember, I think the child hunter set us up the stairs, I want to say. I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. Sort of having a bit of a brain fart. What does my grandfather like to call it? I'm having a senior moment. Rifle spear, that was the one. Yeah, so it's a rifle that's also a spear. Yeah, okay, no one said the naming conventions in Yharnam were particularly interesting. Well, to be honest with you, if everyone I knew was turning into giant fucking monstrosities, I'd probably burn that shit down. Now, they are resistant to fire damage. Unfortunately, until we fight, I think it's Lawrence, Lawrence the First Vicar in the DLC. I don't really think many enemies actually attack the fire. They're usually more weak to it. Still, if you're looking for something to give you an edge later in game, it's definitely not a bad thing to pick up. So now we're back here again. Let's run down here. We're actually we're a little over halfway to the end of the area. Now, as you guys can see, this thing here is a shortcut. We'll be grabbing that a little bit later. We'll also probably come back and grab Jura's little badge and everything else. I don't really need it. I just kind of want to grab it as proof that that's what you get. Now, again, these things save your life. Beware high spot. The moment you see something like that, look up. Now, that's someone who's going to drop on our ass the moment we walk under them. So we're going to bait them out. We're going to run in. We're not going to show a care in the world for them. And they're going to drop down. Take them out as quickly as you can. I've said it a lot of times, I know already, but I really am... Oh shit. I really am liking the distance and the length I can get on the burial blade. It's equal, I'd say, to the distance I get on the halberd, or the hunter's axe, even though its maximum heavy attack doesn't go quite as far. As you probably saw with Gascoigne in the last video, the halberd spins you twice and sends you a little bit further out. Now, apparently you can set this shit down there on fire, but I don't know how. Well, I'm not all that interested in finding out, to be honest, because I fought my way through them before, and I can easily enough do it again. Now, considering that's up there, and I really can't see a way through there, I wager I probably have to climb up to the second level. In fact, you know what? I'm going to see if I can find a way onto that. Give me a minute here. Let's climb up top. Poppity 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 pop. I'm on the road again. Oh, I can't wait to get on the road again. Alright, no, I got no idea. Wait, no. So we drop down here. Okay, so that gives us access. Or I actually didn't know this part existed. I thought that was just the place where, you know, you basically just couldn't get to. Give me a second here, because I want to see what note is being rated fine all the damn time. Probably that one, then. Yep, that one. Hound waits ahead. I'd wager it's supposed to be that one. Now, we're up here. I actually didn't know I could come up here earlier, but hey, whatever. That's what this is about. That's why I like games by FromSoft. I can get to find shit I wouldn't find out before. Now, the big thing flayed in the middle with the huge claws, that's actually a almost direct replication of the boss of this area. It's called the Blood-Starved Beast. Now, I actually really hate that thing. I think I mentioned it earlier. It was actually the boss that killed me the most in the entire base game. That's not something that I particularly enjoy bragging about or even saying, because I know a lot of people who didn't have any trouble at all. I had a mate of mine who managed to kill it on his, I do believe it was his first attempt. But that being said, it took him 14 tries to kill Gascoigne, and it took me 1. So yeah, it kind of evens out. Everyone's got their own everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses. It levels out in the end, I guess. So that's how we jump. I'm just trying to remember that, because I'm going to try and jump across to the other side there. I didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. I'm halfway tempted to actually just pause here for a second and see if I can't find a way down that doesn't kill me, or better yet, a way that'll let me shit. I don't honestly think I'm gonna die if I drop down from here. I don't think I'm gonna live through a drop that high as well. Alright, I could probably use a bold hunter's mark to get out of here, but I won't for the time being. Give me a sec. See if I can find something to land on that's gonna either cushion my fall or it's gonna give me a good chance to, you know, not fucking die. I wonder. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna pop out a Molotov. I wanna try something. I'm gonna throw a Molotov at that, thing in the middle. Oh shit. Alright, it turns out that doesn't kill me, it just hurts me. I was thinking I might figure out how to turn this place on fire, but, yep. Just a lot of people try and kill me, apparently. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm used to fighting these dudes either one at a time or 3 at a time. See, that's not bad. I'm pretty sure they're calling, like they're yelling, going, whatever that sweep, we call that scream, actually gives them a bit more attack and the ability to poison, I'm pretty sure. Because I know those guys don't usually have that. Now, I know I said, you know, you don't want to fight groups of enemies unless you don't have a choice, but I really don't think these guys can let me out of here. So we're just going to have to take what we can get, I'm afraid. I'm halfway tempted to switch out with my Holy Moonlight Sword, because I'm already in a bad place, and I'd like to get whatever aid I can, but I feel like that'd be cheating just a little bit, because I'd be, you know, relying on a weapon that I have already fully leveled up. It takes a bit of challenge out of it. Don't get me wrong, if I face a boss that's really doing my head in, yeah, I'm probably going to grab it, but, you know, it's not a boss, it's just a fuck up that I made. I'm fucking dead. Great, okay. So, that did not go according to plan at all. At all. You know what, I'm wondering how I can set that place on fire now. That could be a little interesting. But bear with me for a second here. I'm thinking of searching it up, but you know what? No, I won't, because that would kind of defeat the entire purpose, really, wouldn't it? Because Bloodborne and things like that, they're about exploring. Now, I am probably going to look up the locations of the hunter's tools and stuff, just because I do want to get that platinum, but, you know, if it's not outright necessary for me to have that information, then I'm probably not going to look it up. Right, now, I know I mentioned that I usually wouldn't walk straight out, but now Jura's dead. Obviously the hunter, he's gonna stay dead. Unlike the beast. Basically, we're just gonna walk straight off the end of this thing, because it actually puts us basically back where we died. Granted, we're not gonna be right on top of it, but it'll give us a... Not a bad time to scale to work from. Alright, so now we're through them. We'll pick that up, we'll run back over here. I'm just going to use the shortcut that basically just opened up for us. So if we go down here, we can drop down to this part. Now, we didn't do this originally because Jura would have just ripped us apart with his minigun. We would not be standing here. And if we got away from Jura's minigun, then we'd still have to not only jump down that ladder or slide down that ladder, but we'd need to contend with the hunter that would be there. We've already killed him, which basically gives us a nice little shortcut back down to here. Now, I'm running up this ladder, the reason being is I'm pretty sure with that reload, Jura's stuff will go back to his spawn point. Yep. Which means that we can pick up the powder keg emblem and get access to all the powder keg gear. Now, I don't know if it'll actually give me his emblem, because I already possess it, thanks to the last time I played. But this is how you would get that emblem. You know, you kill Jura, you pick up the stuff his corpse drops, that's how you get it. There is another way to get it, and that's basically using That's basically by bypassing Old Yharnam initially, and then getting sent early to Yahar Ghul and killing off Dark Beast Paarl. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry too much. At any rate, we'll just drop down here. Now we're gonna go get my stuff back. I'm gonna fight these guys the way I remember how to fight these guys. If you're wondering what that is, there's nothing really fancy about the way I figure it. I just basically continually tempted them up the stairs, and I fought 2 or 3 or even 4 of them at a time. But I never fought them in a very large group. I always kept it to, you know, maximum 4 people, take care of it, get the job done. Now he's down. What I mean by keeping it to maximum just a few people at a time is, I'll grab that item before I go any further, is when we run down here, and we go through there, now there's a dude on our right who has a hood on. And those calls are going to attract some of the people from downstairs. Now we're going to fight him here, because I really don't mind fighting him, but... Ow. Oh shit, fuck me. No. Oh, bollocks. Ow. Ah, fuck. Shit. Well, there goes the 80,000 blood echoes or whatever we had going on. That's 4 deaths so far, I'm pretty sure. I might actually compile them into a blooper reel if I get a chance. Just, you know, end of each video, we'll put a little blooper reel up with a ding for each death. I'm actually recording, these ones have been recorded more or less one after the other on basically a weekend. So up to about, I think this is the 3rd one. I might end up doing the 4th, but the first 3 have happened. 4 deaths. But yeah, I've done basically the first 3 with a few hour break in between, just because I had a lazy Sunday afternoon. I could have just made them all into one long video, but I figured doing it area by area is probably just a better choice. I'll probably see if I can't put a little montage at the end of this video, if I get that good with the editing software, of just a blooper reel of all my deaths. It's not going to be a particularly long blooper reel, I grant you, but, you know, we do it at the end of every episode. If I die, you know, we'll add another one to the whole blooper reel at the end of each episode, I guess. It's something else, makes it a little bit different. Lets me play around with it with the editing tools. Now, I know that I've mentioned that I've just done all of these basically over a 2-day stretch, at least to the 3rd one. If you're wondering why they didn't all go out on one day, the first answer to that question is it felt like it was a bit much, just to have, you know, 3 episodes of the Let's Play up on the same day. And that's not something I would enjoy particularly, you know. I don't think it's something I'd really watch. I probably wouldn't watch 3 things of a Let's Play in one day. I'd wager I'd watch 1 or 2 and then I'd kind of get bored of it and go do something else. So that was, you know, one reason why I didn't want to put them all up at once. The other reason is that I'm very new to the editing software I'm using. Like, at the time of making the 3rd one, I have only just finished downloading the editing software. And I'm honestly not sure how good I'm going to be at it, so I want to sort of take my time and try to, you know, get the editing right, so to speak. So I don't want to try and put out too much at once. I'm not sure how many I'm going to get done today, but a lot of the Let's Plays, I've decided to mostly divide it into areas. So, you know, you got, the first one covers Cathedral Ward up to, you know, the Cleric Beast, because it took us an hour to get there. The second one covers the end of the Central, sorry, the first one covers Central Yharnam up to Cleric Beast, second one covers the rest of it, the third one, this one I want to cover Old Yharnam, you know, because I feel like that's not a bad endpoint. You know, we finish an area, or we get to a certain point in an area where we've got a boss like Central Yharnam, where, you know, it's been an hour's worth of videos so far, then we move on. That's, in my opinion, isn't a bad way of doing things. It means, you know, that each one of the videos is going to sort of cover another area. Now, the reason I'm talking about this as well is I've basically said everything I need to say about Old Yharnam at this point. I've really got nothing else to add to what I've already said about it. Which, gives me a bit of a chance to talk about how I want to get to the series. So, now, I'm going to try and, you know, each one of these, I want to sort of do another area. There'll be a few that cover 2 areas. For example, Yharnam, when you first get there, is a very, very tiny area, because if you go there early, it doesn't really have much in the way of anything. It's just a good grinding spot. And, you know, it's got 1 boss fight, so I figure when we get to Yharnam, I'll probably, you know, do Yharnam, but it'll be like one part of a large video, rather than the video in and of itself. Now, I know these guys are going to come up the stairs, so... Go out here, we have a bit more room, we don't have to worry about anybody. Something like Yharnam, where we've got, you know, not much to talk about. We'll probably mix that in with the, you know, another video. Considering when we go there is Cathedral Ward, I want to say. If we find the Snatcher in Cathedral Ward, then it'll probably be mixed in with the Cathedral Ward. Oh shit, I'm stuck in the corner. Yeah, I'm dead. I am so fucking dead. God damn it, I hate fucking Old Yharnam. Actually, that's a lie. I actually quite do enjoy the aesthetic quite a bit, but yeah, you know, so I figure that's, I'm going to try and make all the videos, you know, one area. I'm not sure when I'll get around to doing the other ones, which is another reason I want to stagger the release schedule a little bit, is I don't really know when I'm going to have time to sit down anymore. Like, like a lot of people on YouTube, this is not my job. I'm not looking to make this a career, so to speak. Don't get me wrong, if it ends up being that way, then yeah, bully, more power to me, but I'm actually very happy with the job I have at the moment. It's more just something I'm doing for a bit of fun. Which is why I'm trying to record, you know, let's play segments where I can. You know, if I can get 3 done in a day, covering different areas, then, you know, that's what I want to get. But I want to stagger the release schedule as well, because it gives me something I can put out on the channel every week, even if I can't get my hands on it. If I can, I'm also going to try and put out a review of something each Thursday. Again, just for a bit of fun. If you haven't guessed, the first review is probably going to be Bloodborne, just because, you know, we're already going to have a lot of footage for it. I've finished the game once before, so I can give my thoughts based on sort of, you know, the whole game, not just bits and pieces I've played of it. I can go, right, you know, I've finished the whole game, through the DLC, type of thing. I don't have to go, alright, look, I've finished 90% of the game, I've finished some of the game, or I can go, right, the whole thing's done, this is my opinion. Because I do have some fucking problems with it. Don't get me wrong, I like it a lot, but I do have some problems with it. I'm not sure what the next review will be. I've got a couple of ideas, but I've just got to get the... I've just got to basically sit down, write a list, and, you know, work out which one I'm going to be able to get footage for. Also, there may be a let's play of another game, just as a whole couple of hours session coming out. Me and a mate of mine do a gaming night every probably 2 weeks, and we usually play the full game of Overcooked, and it usually gets pretty funny sometimes early. We get pissed off, so there may well end up being a let's play of Overcooked at some point on this channel. I'm not sure when, but it'll definitely be up at some point. I might even do a review for Overcooked actually, because I really do like Overcooked. If you've never played Overcooked, take my advice, get a couple of friends together and play Overcooked. You can get it on PC. I know you can get it on PC. I'm pretty sure you can get it on Xbox One, but I know you can also get it on PS4. And you'll note I said get some friends together and play Overcooked. And I mean that very clearly. Get some friends together. It's a puzzle game that's a lot more fun with other people. If you're doing it by yourself, it's going to be as boring as watching fucking paint dry. But with some extra people, it is the shit. It really is the shit. It's funny, it's fun, and you get frustrated with each other. I guarantee you that. You're going to get frustrated with each other, but at the end of the day, it's just a good day out for all concerned. This is much easier, especially because I'm not getting caught in the goddamn corner. Ow. Spoke too soon. Now, I was going to gush about Overcooked a bit more, but I thought about it and I'm like, you know, I'm playing Bloodborne. I probably shouldn't be gushing about another game at the moment. But yeah, seriously, if you're going to... I thoroughly recommend you play it, guys. And if you have a chance, play it with friends. Like, don't get me wrong, it's playable with one person. It does have a single player mode. Like, it does have a single player mode, don't get me wrong. But it is very much a party game. It's very much something you can get a few people you like together. And let's do this, bitch. But again, that's my opinion. There's no right or wrong way to play that game. There's no right way or wrong way to play any game, really. As long as you're having fun, that's kind of the whole point. Fuck. That was close. Gotta pay more attention to my health and less fucking attention to what I'm attacking. Alright, well maybe less attention. But you guys know what I mean. I gotta focus a bit more on my health rather than just going, oh yeah, I'll be fucking fine. Quite clearly I will not be fucking fine. Alright, so now this is taken care of. We do have that shortcut coming up now. As you can see, that's a pretty fucking nasty looking thing. It looks like someone's glued a fucking inside out vagina flaps to the fucking head of like a, I don't know, desiccated wolf or something. Yeah, look, okay, I'm running a little bit low on my wordplay analogies here, guys, but basically it looks pretty fucked. And you're gonna have to fight that thing later. Not that exact one, there's another one a little bit later on that serves as the boss of the area. But yeah, we're gonna have to fight that. Now, if you can see down there, where all the little burning crosses with werewolves are tied on, that's the boss room, down there. I think it's called the Chapel of the Good Blood. But that's our sort of end goal for this step. Once we've taken out the boss grab our level up, and we move on. Unfortunately, it looks like I've maxed out on my pebbles at the moment, so I can't grab any more of them. Pop that way back, heal up a bit. Now, like I said, there is the shortcut just around here. If you were wondering where it is, it's literally right ahead of me. Now, I do believe there's actually a dude hiding around here, so give me a second. Huh, well, apparently not. Alright, whatever. Thought there was. I swear to God I remember fighting a guy. Anyway. We'll run up here. It's a pretty long ladder, man. Get up here and we go pop. Where's the weasel? And yeah, now we've got an opening back out to this part, so we can get here nice and quickly if we die again. I'm hoping we don't, but oh fuck, we're gonna die again. Okay, that is definitely going on my list of the fucking dumbest ways I've died. Not fucking using the ladder. That is easily the dumbest death in this run through so far. I've died 6 times so far. If memory serves. Yeah, one against the werewolf, one against something else. I forget exactly what it was. Oh yeah, one against one of those shrieking dudes. 2 against those guys. Anyway, I've written down 6. I'll have to relook at the footage and find all of them, but I've written down 6. I might be wrong, it might only be 5. Got the last dude over here. You know, I'm actually really starting to like the damage on this too. It's not overwhelming, but it is quite nice. Oh, that was close. let's go use that shortcut, shall we? Pop down here, pop down here. And we're as good as golden. I wager this is probably gonna be the last Bloodborne thing I shoot this weekend, just because I can really feel myself getting pretty tired. So, and I've got work tomorrow, so I'd wager I'm gonna touch up one of the I'd wager I'll touch up the first video with the editing tool I've downloaded. Hopefully I can get that out today, and then, you know, we'll jump on and we'll just see, we'll get the next one out next week and then the week after and so on and so forth. We'll just play around with the editing tool, play around with the video schedule, and we'll just find out where we are. Now, while these guys have been our main enemies throughout most of Old Yharnam, they're about to take a serious backseat to the dudes in that fight. The dudes were about to fight a full-on fucking werewolves. Like, see if I can find one. Right here, a bunch of fucking... Oh shit! I'm gonna fight him up here because I want something to put between me and him when he tries to slaughter me a little bit later on. There we are. Come on, you lanky cunt. I think that's the first time I've attacked one of these since I got the upgrade too. It's upgraded my sight to the blood gems. Oh, it's actually made life a lot easier. And 9,000 a pop. That's really sweet, to be honest with you. Now, I mentioned there was a way to approach Jura, however you pronounce his name, without aggroing him. We're going to go down to the point of actually being able to do that instead. Alright, so still getting bloodstone shots, but how you do that is easy enough. You run down to this part here, you can see this big gate there. Now behind this is part of Yharnam, the hidden village, I do believe is the subtext of that. But basically you can fight something called Dark Beast Pile behind that door, and the door opens outwards onto the back of Old Yharnam. If you can get to that point, then you can make your way back up to Jura, and as long as you agree not to hunt the beasts of Old Yharnam and kill any in front of him, then basically he'll be friendly to you for the rest of the game. The reason we didn't bother with that is I just didn't want to. There's no grand overarching reason like it's better this way or anything. I just didn't fucking feel like doing it. Now, on the side notes of shit that's about to try and jump scare us, that is going to get broken open by a full-fledged werewolf. And if we run around to here, there's also a item back there. Now, the wolf won't spawn while we're here, but as soon as I pick that item up and walk back out, he's going to be there. If I do this, there he is. I didn't think he dropped down there. I thought it was actually off the item. I was very much wrong on that. But hey, got the good chance to take him out. Always works. I'm not going to look at your force in the mouth on that one. Now, beast blood pellets let you up your beasthood, which gives you a few differentiating techniques. I think it's with the beast claw weapon. Like, you can actually turn yourself into a beast thanks to a couple of blood gems and things you can get in the Old Hunters DLC. But it is useful for that, if not much else. Just trying to bait this guy into, yep. That's him down. We'll pop that. Now, we're going to get another shortcut now. And the reason for that is it lets us bypass that last one and just come straight out to here, which is nice and close to the boss. Now, on the inside of this, there are a few things you need to be aware of. One is that there's someone on your left as soon as you walk in, and it's meant to be just quick. Like, it can either kill you with that, or it can just harm you a bit. Now, when you go to the next level, which is up here, you notice this open door. This is actually mine, huh? But, there's an item on the left that you can see, but what you can't see is, regardless of how you turn it, is there is a dude on the right. One of the reasons sound is so important in this game, because you can sit there and you can listen to exactly what's going on and what things sound like, and that's going to give you a good hint on sort of what's going on and where you need to go and what you need to do. Now that we're here, however, we're just going to run back up to the front, and we're just going to basically just show you where that shortcut is. So we're up here, we go up this ladder. La 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 da da. Keep on heading up, keep on heading up, keep on heading up. It's a long ladder, what can I say? When we get up to the top here, we're basically in the clear. We snag this, Cold Blood do. We're going to drop down here, and that puts us back at the start of Old Yharnam. Like, that is the lamp we first hit. Now, you might notice something scarpering next to me a couple of about I don't know, 5-6 seconds ago. It's not something I'm going to bother with, but if you do see them in the base game, when you are going through it for the first time, I recommend hunting down and killing them. They look like tiny little babies' heads fused together on legs. It's weird. I can't really describe it very well. But the reason I'd say go after them is because if you do exactly that, you do go after them and you kill them, they actually give you upgrade materials. Now, I'm not really in the market for upgrade materials right now because I've got a plus... Is it a plus 8 or a plus 9? It's plus 9 at this point, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I've upgraded the burial blade to a plus 9. Where's the burial blade? There we go, plus 9, which means the only thing I can really upgrade it with is a bloodstone rock. And they're just not going to drop that. There is 2 of those in this entire game, if you include the DLC. Or you can buy them from the Insight Messages. I actually didn't know that until the first playthrough of this. But sorry, shouldn't say first playthrough. Until the first video of this Let's Play series, I actually didn't know that. But yeah, that's the only way I can upgrade my stuff. I don't need to chase them down because they don't have anything I actually want. Now, I'm going to take this dude. And the reason why, not just because it's fucking dangerous, but that screaming in the background that you're hearing is much like the screaming that you hear in the other places, but that mist has this dude behind it. Now, you can try to go after him first, but to be honest with you, I've never really found that to work. He usually manages to hit me from behind it, and the other guy usually comes around and hits me from behind as well. So it just doesn't work too well for me. Now, heading up here, you notice I have the Molotov cocktails equipped. That's because of the next boss we're going to be fighting. Now, oh, that's the thing that gives you upgrade. Here, I'll kill it just to make sure. You search the corpse. And use your bloodstone shard. Right, they're good for upgrading. Now, down there you're going to find the summon sign for Alfred. I am going to summon him because I had a lot of trouble with this boss the last time, and I don't really want to do it again. But inside that church is going to be the boss for this particular area. Now, the Bloodstarved Beast is a bit of a bitch to kill, mostly because in its 3rd stage it'll poison you if you even get close to it. Now, that's not exactly my idea of a good time, but we're just gonna unequip some stuff here. We're gonna unequip the bolt paper too. We'll put on the fire paper because I think that does a bit more damage. Unequip this, and we're gonna throw on some. We're gonna throw on the oil urn just for a bit of extra damage, and we're gonna throw on the antidotes as well. Sorry, I just took one of them up, but we'll throw on the oil urn. We've got the antidotes, and we'll pop on the Yosefka's blood vial as well. So we've got fire paper, antidote, Huh, looks like I can't use it with this weapon. Can't use it with that weapon either. The fuck, guys? Oh, maybe you can use it with this. I don't know. I kind of feel like I should be able to use that weapon. I should be able to use it with this weapon, but it doesn't really matter. We can always just stick to the oil urns and the Molotovs. It's not a big deal, though. Oh, bell-ringing women basically can summon other players in to invade you. We're gonna run in here and we're gonna start our fight up against the boss. Hopefully we can one-shot this thing, because I gotta admit I really don't like the Bloodstarved Beast. I found the fight very difficult the first time, and honestly I don't really expect that to change today. Alright, it's actually going much better than the first time I did this. Not gonna lie. I'm sure a big part of that is that other people attack, not just myself. Using the old wild blood here. Second stage. Oh shit. Sorry, that guy just needed to heal up a little bit. Nope, not getting one more combo today, motherfucker. My best advice fighting this thing, it's usually keep the pillars moving even if you start trying to hold on motherfucker. And when it does that, we're in trouble. All the attacks now poison and we're down. So in that third phase, all of its attacks will actually poison you. Now, I really do not like the Blood-Starved beast. It's killed me a lot in the past, and I'm certainly not going to be its biggest fan, but if you hear some tapping in the background at the moment, I'm just looking up if I can, why I can't apply fire paper to the burial blade, because that's a little fucking weird. Apparently just can't use it. I thought it might have been a glitch or something, but no, apparently you just cannot use a thing for it. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I really hate the fucking Blood-Starved beast, so I'll give it one more go with a, I'll give it one more go with the burial blade, but, oh shit, and I'm almost out of bullets too. Actually, I take that back. I'm not even going to give it one more go with the burial blade, just because how low my bullets are, and I feel like riposting it for that final stage is really going to be my only choice. So I'm going to swap out to the Holy Moonlight Sword, and I'm just going to try and wreck its face. To give you a hint of just how much I actually dislike this boss, I legitimately had less problems with the fucking DLC boss, who is widely considered the hardest boss in the already hard game. I had less difficulty with the Orphan of Kos, who is outright considered to be one of the hardest bosses in this already hard game. Sorry, I think I already said that, but I don't think I said it as well. Anyway, what I'm trying to make is I fucking hate this thing, and I want to die. I quickly and painfully back off looking at it. So I'm going to try and pull just that. Now, I can't fire a bolt paper this thing either. Now, if you do have the opportunity, and I suppose a lot of you probably won't, but if you ever do get the opportunity, then I would recommend using fire paper against it, because it actually does give you a lot of extra damage on the fucker. On the note of things that will help me, though, let's see if I have any pungent blood cocktails. There we go. I do like the way that the game does integrate things like that. It's called the blood-starved beast for a reason. It is a beast that is starved for blood. If you use a pungent blood cocktail in the other direction from yourself, it will actually rather follow that than continue to fight you for a little bit. So, it is a nice, handy way of dealing with the problem. As you know, I've just switched back to the Holy Moonlight Sword. I'll be doing a lot more damage per hit, even if it is a bit slower. I'm sorry for those of you who are like, why aren't you just going to use the Burial Blade the whole game? But I really just fucking hate that boss this much, and I can already feel the start of a headache building up. So I kind of want to get this over with. There we go. Now, hopefully I can get my blood echoes back. So that way, even if I die, I've still got... As you can see, it's going a bit better for me. I'm just gonna upgrade this to the next level for a second. See if I can't get behind this guy. Slow poison on. Give me a second, you guys. Try and get rid of that. Switch my weapon back. I haven't very much found that with the Blood-Starved Beast, you're better off being able to attack quickly than attack strong. Don't get me wrong, they're both important, but the weapons form a form, do a bit more damage. A bit less damage, but hits a little bit faster. It seems to be a better bet. That's probably not always going to be the case, but I've found that's been the case for me at least. Another piece of advice I can give you about it after having fought it so many goddamn times is wherever you can, try to stay at full range. Oh shit. I'm not sure I'm going to live through this one, so I might be at another death if I can in a second. Alright. Alright, back to the burial blade, I guess. Wow, that is a fucking lot of blood echoes. Anyway, so that gives us the basic, you know, there goes the blood-starved beast. I do feel a little bit bad about flipping back to my main weapon, being the burial blade, but the other half of me is just going, well, you know what, you've been in the game once, you might as well just indulge yourself with the stuff that you know works when you get a little bit frustrated. So anyway, let's head back to the hunter stream. Anyway, we're still recording. It's almost an hour and 40 minutes of this video, so let's just channel these blood echoes. Get 2 levels out of it. Sweet.
Over time,
There's really nothing else to talk about with her, unfortunately. If we go here, that's Church of the Good Chalice, which is the last part of Old Yharnam. Let's hit Cathedral Ward. Now, there are a few things to do in Cathedral Ward. We've got an NPC theme Bobby that we're going to need to get involved in, which has to do with Eileen the Crow, the chick we met in Central Yharnam, the hunter, who gave us the Bold Hunter's Mark. We've also got Bishop Amelia, which is a boss fight, as well as a couple of people we can rescue and send back to certain places. So that's where we're really going to start sort of getting things together. Now, if memory serves, you can't rescue people after you've beaten Vicar Amelia, so we're going to try and rescue as many people as I know exist before that happens. But until then, you know, that's where we're going to end this stream for today. So, once again, I've been Lenny from Bull in a China Shop. Thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.